Albert, disappointing result, but now you're onto the playoffs. It's a whole new tournament. This is a reset to your season. Silver, we're on the line. What is the overall feeling of the team?
I mean, overall season, I think good is probably the right word. You know, the start was really bad. Someone said this morning that we're the best team in MLS in the second half of the season. So I think if you mix very bad and very good, you kind of come somewhere in between. And yeah, now it's on to playoffs. You know, it's third, fourth. We're hosting the first round anyway, and you can't really pick and choose. You know who you want to play in playoffs, because if you want to go all the way and win it, you're gonna have to beat everybody. So yeah, we're facing a really good Houston side that we have played multiple times this year. And they have their qualities as well. So we're expecting a tough matchup, and yeah, I'm looking forward to the game.
And from a personal standpoint, what did you see in your game develop further than what you had expected during the season? What are some of the lessons that you learned about yourself this season?
Nothing that I don't know. That injury that I had the day before the first game, it wasn't ideal, and it took a long time for me to feel good. First couple of games that I came back from the injury, coming off the bench, I was in pain. I was taking painkillers just to be able to run around and play. So I wasn't healthy, and then obviously being in the last year of your contract, you don't want to spend too much time, inside with the physios, but you want to be on the field, so you have to kind of find the right balance between the pain tolerance and, are you doing yourselves favors by playing, by trying, or are you hurting yourself, and maybe it wasn't the right decision at the start of the season for me to come back so early and play through the pain, but, I'm happy where we are right now, and my performances, especially second half of the season.
Setting the record for assists across all competitions for the club in a single season. What does that mean to you?
It's nice to hear. It's nice to see when you guys write about it. Yeah, it's definitely a positive. I don't want to, make it that it means nothing. It definitely means a lot to me. And probably, these kind of things, once you're done with playing, and 10 years from now on, I will look at them and maybe they will mean something different than they do now. While you're still playing, there's more games I can add to it, and there's more games for us to play and to win something this year. So I that's why I don't think I'm paying too much attention to what I have achieved. But as I say, when the season's done, or maybe when I'm done with playing, it will mean more.
To that point, and speaking to that narrative as a player who played with Nico as long as you did, how do you take those narratives of like trying to compare you guys as players, or the fact that you tied that record? How do you go about just taking all that in?
Yeah, I'm not a fan when people start to comparing players, because I think you can start comparing positions that we play, and obviously Nico in that year and played the number 10, which is the position that I played this year for majority of the games, if not all. So you can start comparing players in those positions, but I think we're very different as far as players. I think that's why we were able to play together as well, because if we were identical, I don't think it would work playing together, but we have won the Champions League together, and we were both on the field. So yeah, we are different players, and what he has done for this club, I've come nowhere near that, and I don't know if I will be able to, but that's why I don't like when people start to compare, and you guys always trying to find one who's better and the winner of the conversation or the battle, where I think you can do just say they're both good, but it's hard to compare, and everybody will always have their favorites.
You mentioned that this is a contract year for you. Have you had any discussions as far as your long-term future goes?
Yeah, I think that the conversation started a month ago, maybe. But yeah, it's still a conversation to be had. It's nothing has been finalized, agreed, and we're at this stage where it's now playoffs games are coming, and that's the most important. So I don't know right now what's better, whether it's to you kind of concentrate on the team instead of trying to finalize a deal. And it's not just me, we have multiple guys that are out of contracts, and yeah, it's a process. We've all been through it and we know how it goes. So most likely it'll be done when the season's done, or I don't really know, but I think right now the focus isn't on the contract, but it's on the team.
Do you feel like you're on the same? Like, did you get a sense that you guys were seeing eye to eye on things, even if you don't have an agreement?
Yeah, I think the ideas are very very similar, if not identical. So yeah, that's why I think it's it's a little bit easier situation probably to kind of concentrate on the games and figure that stuff out whenever, really. I don't think right now there is no timeline.
How difficult is it to be playing not only in a contract year, but in an environment such as the one that our country finds itself in, with a lot of stuff going on, a lot of politics going on? Does that weigh heavy on you, given that you have young children?
Damn, that's a deep question. Yeah, I mean, you try, we all have our opinions, whether it's sports, politics, or whatever. And at least when we're here, players, and we're talking to you, and we're here together, we try to keep it sports, and then everybody kind of goes home and probably talks about the other stuff, with their close family, because you got to be careful what you say nowadays. So, yeah, as far as it goes for us players, I would say it's not always easy, but yeah, you have to try and stay focused on the game and kind of talk about the game. And for the few hours that we're here every day, yeah, as far as politics, other situations, yeah, there it is mentioned and then people talk about it, but again, I think yeah, not everybody expresses probably their honest opinion, but it is what it is. It's the world we live in.
Without dwelling too much on obviously the disappointing draw, what did you see out of the tape review and just going back and thinking about that game, and how can you use what you learned there into the next challenge, which is Houston?
Yeah, I think right after the game I said it. It felt like a loss. It felt very negative. We didn't really see any positives. When we look back this morning, we could have been 3-0 up before the red card. So we did create chances. We had chances. We didn't let them do much in terms of creating goal-scoring chances until that very first one, and then they had another one where they hit the post of Staff, and then obviously the red card was a game changer. But yeah, overall it was a weird game, not how we wanted to end the regular season. We wanted to win at home, especially against Portland. But yeah, it is what it is. It's on to playoffs now, and we're still hosting the first round, which we would have even if we won. And then, we go through that, and then we see who we play next.
What do you remember from facing Houston a few weeks ago? Obviously, it'll be a little different with Hector Herrera, but what do you remember?
Yeah, I mean, they're a really good possession team, similar to us in terms of how they want to play. I do remember we were up 1-0, and then in the second half they caught us for a good 30 minutes where they haven't created a goal-scoring chance, but they did keep the ball, and it's not fun when you can connect passes and you're just chasing the ball. They make you tired. But that game we managed to keep a clean sheet. It was probably an ugly second half from our side, but it managed to do the job, the win. And if you look back now at the regular season standings, those 3 points could be the difference why we're ahead of them. So it's little things that in playoffs they will all be very important. And we're also aware that after 90 minutes it's going straight to PK. So kind of playing for a tie is not ideal, because PKs are what they are. So yeah, we expect a tough matchup. Houston is a good team, and I think everybody knows it. So
going back to the red card, what did you make of that call, and what did you make of generally the way that the game was managed up to that point?
I mean, poor, right? I mean, we don't have to lie about it. We watched the tape this morning. Two of their guys, after they make foul on our guys, on Alex and Yamar, they throw hands at the referee. No yellow card is given. Obed does it, he gets second yellow card. This is where, we do understand that the referees are humans just like us, and they can make mistakes just like we can. However, we get punished for yellow cards. It's a fine and all this. I don't know how the system works for them, but if it was 1-2 decisions, it would kind of, and even given how the game was refereed, even after the game, we said we're not putting the blame on referee because we could have ended the game ourselves, even though with the decisions that were going on. But yeah, the Obed's red card, it happened twice before for them, no yellow card, and then we had 3 advantages to go 3 against 2 and 4 against 3, and all of them were stopped. And it wasn't even advantage, when it's like 50-50 sometimes and you don't know who the ball's gonna go to. This was a clear where it's our player on the ball, no one around him, and he even takes a touch or passes the ball forward, and as he does that, the whistles blow. And that's just, I don't think that's good enough, and I hope that the referee, will kind of look back and learn, and, it will help him. He will learn from it just like we do, when we make mistakes.
Did he explain any of those advantage situations? Like, obviously you guys were pretty upset in the moment. Did he ever say like, oh, I don't know, did he say anything?
No, I mean, from the first, there were first couple fouls in the first minute where it's a pulled jersey from behind, and his reasoning was that there's another 10 players. I think in the rules, if you pull someone's jersey, it doesn't matter where it is. If you go from behind, you're not trying to play the ball, it's automatic yellow card. So I think, to be honest, just looking at it as a player, I think he lost the game very early on at the starting minutes, and then all the players, not just us, but also Portland players, everyone's upset, and then we didn't help him to get back in the game because everybody was already upset and screaming at him, and a tough game for him.